Well, now he walks by me and he goes like this. Well, I didn't want to say nothing. Mike says, I saw that. And I said, oh, shit, now I got to do this guy. So we got up out of the thing. He was with one guy. It was four of us, so we made sure that the other guy didn't jump in. I took the guy outside. I cracked him once. He went down. I kneed him in the face. Hey guys, welcome to the Goodfellow Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Barone. If you like us, subscribe and give us a thumbs up. And don't forget about our Patreon channel. It's got some stuff that's on there that's a little off the cuff that I don't put on regular videos as this one, such as this. So today I'm going to talk about something really nice that happened to me the other day, and it happened today as well. I followed up on a email that someone sent in to me, and I mentioned him before on maybe one or two podcasts. A dear friend of mine, Charlie Barone. Charlie Barone and I go way back. I think I kind of told everybody that before. And he reached out to me, and I didn't know if it was for real or what was going on. But after speaking with him, it was very good. A really good conversation between me and Charlie. I haven't talked to Charlie in many, many years. There was some things said, it was the past, and so we decided to leave things in the past. Charlie had wrote in his email to me, he reminded me of a story where he lied to my mom and said, Mrs. Barone, he says, Joe wants his hat. I had a gangster hat back in those days, and he took it not even once, twice. My mother gave him the hat twice because she believed Charlie. She knew Charlie really good, of course, his family and everything. His dad and my mom were very good friends, and our grandparents were very good friends. And so Charlie and I decided to bury the hatchet, and we forgave each other. And I want you to also, Charlie had told me about a book that he wrote. It's called From Crime to Christ, the Charlie Barone story. It's only a 28-page paperback. I'm going to receive a copy of it. I did not read it myself. I think I'm also in a chapter or whatever. It's probably a good book. It's a short story, obviously, which is good. And as soon as I get a copy of it, we're going to show it here on the Goodfellow Podcast. I'm going to tell some stories about Charlie and I, the good ones, and not the bad ones anymore, because that is the past. And that's what I said to Charlie. He said he said a lot of wonderful things about me. But I also want to say before I even get started with that, another friend of mine in New Rochelle died, Mike Lepore. Obviously, I couldn't attend the funeral, but my condolences to his family, his brother Al. I knew him well. He was a postman, and I couldn't be there. And that's another problem I have because of what I did. And so my condolences to his family. Anyway, excuse me. Charlie and I, back in the days, we actually talked about the stories a little bit. He says he talks about it all the time with my friend Lenny. Lenny, there's a bunch of us hung out together, mostly close. Was Charlie Barone, Lenny Monteleone, Patsy Morano, myself. Once in a while, we'd hang around with certain other people. A lot of times, there was another guy I would hang around with a lot of times, too, was Mike Donato. A quick story about Mike Donato, a good one, was Mike Donato was in the Teamsters Union, and he would, if I was, back in those days, I was broke a lot of times, and, so if I didn't have money or I wasn't working or whatever, I didn't have much money to go out, well, Mike says, come on out anyway, and So I got to his house, or he picked me up, or I picked him up, whatever it was, and he gave me. Back then, it was either a $10 or $20 bill, so that this way, if I met a girl or I wanted a drink at the bar and I didn't feel bad, he gave me money in my pocket. And same thing happened with him. Like when he got laid off and so he wasn't working, I said, "Come on, Mike," and I would do the same thing for him. It was a fight in a club. I forget where it was back in the days, and some guys they were fighting, and some guy, but his wallet fell out of his pocket. Well, Mike scooped up the wallet, and it was like I don't know how much money was in it, but he gave me money out of that wallet too. We didn't give it back to the guy. I think he was knocked out, or whose ever wallet it was. But that's the kind of guys like we would be hanging out. Patsy Morano was kind of quiet, hard worker, but not somebody you'd want to fool around with. And don't let me forget too about Louis Galello, Scoop Galello. Louis Galello, glasses, hair parted to the side, very deceiving, but a really tough guy like his father, Babe. These guys used to, when I was a kid growing up, Louis Galello and the guys in the neighborhood, we'd all hang out at this one like barn like type of thing, like old garage. And then they would like pretend like they kidnapped me or they grabbed me, and then they tied me up on this thing, and I stood there and they said, "No, we'll be right back. We're gonna come," but they never came back. I was there for like a couple of hours hanging from tied up on this thing. So my father they found me. They said, "Where is he?" And of course he found me. My father got mad and he went to go to Louis Galello's father. But Babe was no slouch, and Babe, my father and him, they kind of had words, but my father didn't really do anything really that much to him because Babe was tough. May he rest in peace too.
Was Babe a made man or no?
No, Babe wasn't made. He was just a regular guy, but knock around type of guy a little bit too. He worked, but he was tough. All those Galello guys were tough, and so his son Louis followed in his footsteps. Well, nothing happened between him and my father, which was good. And like I said, but Babe he was a good guy. And would you believe it? Not a sick a day in his life. And then he went, I think, to his daughter's wedding or something like that, and he died of a massive heart attack on the dance floor. Imagine this.
Wow.
You just never know, okay? He never sick a day in his life. But there was Louis Galello that we hung around with too, and Louis was the type of dude that, listen, he walked right up. He had a problem with somebody, he went right to your house, and that's it. He knocked you right out. He don't care. I had a couple little spats with him, nothing really bad where he beat me up or anything like that. But sometimes we'd have our own things, amongst ourselves, whatever kind of mood it was in. Lenny, tough in his own right too. His brother Frank as well. He's got a nice law firm, the Frank Monteleone law firm in New York. Was another guy, quiet, reserved, but he just didn't want to fool around with these people. Like, I know it's kind of hard to believe because we're from New Rochelle. Most of the tough guys that we knew were from the Bronx, or most people here from Queens or Brooklyn. But there was a lot of tough guys in New Rochelle too. But when Charlie Buono is a tough guy in his own right too, as I had told you, he could take a really good punch. He's taken some. He got jumped one time. I don't know how many guys beat him, and he still made it. And he looked pretty bad, but he took. I mean, he could dish it out, and he took it too. And if he hit you, you better watch out because he had like a fist, like a sledgehammer. But Charlie and we were just talking about everything, and there was one fight where I got a phone call like 1:00 in the morning or 2:00 in the morning. They were at this place called the Tropicana. It used to be the old Lollipop in New Rochelle. I guess these guys were going to jump on with everything or whatever. I forget what it was. And they called me up. And so I went down there. I had a .32 pistol. Now, I used to have a long leather jacket. Now, everybody has their own little tricks about how to do things, or how to conceal things, or how to carry things, or whatever it is. Everybody has their own little thing. But, some people carry one gun, some people carry two, or some people hold it here or hold it. Listen, one gun is all you need if you know how to use it. And I was very fortunate back in my days that I knew how to use it. Well, I had a hole cut in my pocket in the leather jacket so that this way, when I lifted up the gun, the leather jacket would fold over enough so that because I used to carry revolvers. I didn't really like the semi-automatics then, but and this is with .32 revolver, and it used to come up so it opened up just enough where I would have to shoot. Well, I came there, and it was the guys at the door, and I said, I'm here to pick up the Italian guys, and then that was it. Nothing happened, thank God. Back in them days, I was a little wild, a little crazy myself. But we used to have so many fights, and Charlie fought this guy, Phil, from the Bronx, because we were from New Rochelle. I don't know how many times this guy, Phil, with this guy here, forget about it. I don't even want to fight him. If I tell you how big he was, you wouldn't believe me. But Charlie was the guy, and then they fought, I think, 3 times, three different times, and then they became friends after that. Because it was like it was either that or just every time they saw each other, it was just going to happen, and that was it, because that's really what happened. So many good times. I think I even told you the time about Bobby Coyne. It was Lenny, me, and Charlie. We were coming from the club, and Charlie was in the back seat. The fight got instigated, obviously, and then we fought the guys after we made them crash into a tree. Oh God, the stories we have. But we used to have a lot of fun. We went to the San Gennaro feast together, pasta in the Bronx. All of us. It was Lenny, me, Charlie, and Patsy. We had so many good times, and that's why it was a little bit hurtful when those things happened. And I understand why I hurt them, my friends, because of my cooperation with the government, and I understand that. But I never hurt any of my friends. And I'm not trying to minimize anything what I did or try to make anybody feel bad or anything, or say, whatever. You guys can come to your own conclusion. I've always told you that. But I never hurt my friends. And just like when I talk about my friend Dominic from the Goodfellow, from the Mafia Roundtable, a very dear friend of mine still to this day, I didn't hurt him either. I told some things that more or less everybody kind of knew in the neighborhood. It wasn't nothing that I brought new to the government about him, and because I became friends with him, and I don't know if I explained this the right way. When you're in that life, all people want to do is make money. Now, Dominic, in his own right, when he was younger, always earned the money. I don't think he even needed to be a gangster. He kind of fell into it, but he didn't really need to be a gangster. He was a money maker on a machine of his own, okay? And he was also able to handle himself on his own. I think the Mafia kind of made it even more bigger, but he and I just it's a kind of thing where you just sometimes you meet that one person in that lifestyle, in that life, and you just forget about it. You guys will do anything for each other, and you become closer than what you're even supposed to be. And that's what happened in Dominic, and that's why I never burnt him either. It's not because I didn't give the FBI information about other things and stuff like that. I was very loyal to the FBI, but I was also loyal to people who I had a heart for, I felt for. And that's why, but I can understand why my friends at the time, and Charlie had said something to me over the phone. He said, Joe, you broke our hearts a little bit, and I wouldn't have been able to do that if they didn't really care about me. We didn't have the good times like we did, the laughter, the fun times, the fights we got in together. And it really touched me when I'm so happy. It was one of the best phone calls I've had in years talking to Charlie. And we're going to get together. I'm going to try to have him on the podcast here. I'm going to talk about old times and stuff like that, people we knew, funny stories, tough guy stories. And we're going to do something like that. But I also, like I said, if you guys want it, you can. I don't know exactly where to find it yet, but I'm going to find out more information. It's From Crime to Christ, the Charlie Barone story. And I'm going to read it myself. I don't really like to read, but for 28 pages, I think I could do that in about a half hour, maybe. You know what I mean? So, but those are some of the stories I wanted to talk about. I also wanted to talk about one other fight scene. I'm sitting in the diner. It was a Saturday night. And I'll tell you how things turn around. This is why I'm telling you the story. Some guy walked by. I was sitting by the window. Across from me was Mike Donato, Patsy, and Lenny. Some guy came walking by. He was in the two-way diner. He was going to the men's room, and he gave me a look like this. I don't even know how to explain it. He was going, so I went, this is okay. I figured the guy's drunk. I didn't say nothing to nobody. Unbeknownst to me, I'm looking at the guy. I didn't realize that Mike Donato saw the thing too. Well, anyways, now he comes out of the bathroom, and I'm like, I don't even really want to look at the guy, but I looked at him because I figured, I still got to look and see what's going on. Maybe I maybe I recognize him from someplace. Maybe I did something to this guy. I don't know. Well, now he walks by me and he goes like this. Well, I didn't want to say nothing. Mike says, I saw that. And I said, oh, shit, now I got to do this guy. So we got up out of the thing. He was with one guy. It was 4 of us, so we made sure that the other guy didn't jump in. I took the guy outside. I cracked him once. He went down. I kneed him in the face. Lenny said, stomp him, Joe, and I was going to step on him. And then Mike said, that's enough, and I let him go. So I only cracked him twice, but he was finished. Well, the next day, Sunday, I have the fight with, I think I mentioned his name, Damon Romanello, or Romanelli. I think it's Damon Romanello, but he's the tough guy too. And then we had the fight, and I lost that fight. So I went from Saturday night winning to Sunday night losing. So this is the kind of lifestyle I led, and it's kind of funny, but this is how I grew up. You win some, you lose some, but it's always about what you're gonna do or who you're around. It's just a crazy life. But I also wanted to tell you another story. I understand. I want to apologize to you guys. I didn't put up any podcast. Monday, I was in New York City, and I was doing DJ Vlad TV. I did a short take with him, and what a gracious host he was, professional, and really a nice, really down to earth, really nice guy. And I want to thank him for having me on his show. It should be airing out, I guess, soon. So I guess you guys could look out for that. As I also give a shout out to Mafia Roundtable with my friend Dominic. He's got a lot of shorts out there when he's doing stuff with the Connect out there in California. And Dominic has really, really a lot of good stuff too. Really good stuff. And he's going to be coming out with something soon. I think his book and whatever. And that's going to be something else too. And we're going to promote that here on this show as well. But anyways, I just wanted to be saying I was so happy I got to talk to my friend Charlie. We put the past behind us and we're going to move forward, and that's the way to go in life. Look, there's some people, if you love me, you love me. If you support me, you support me. I'll support you and I'll love you back. But if you don't, hey, life goes on and I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? And I also always want to thank you guys out there for listening to me, and that's all I can really say right now. Do we have any comments on anything? I don't remember.
We can go to comments.
Yeah, I always try to answer the comments because I always want to stay engaged with you guys out there. Look, I don't care what the comment is. I'll always be honest with any of them, and that's the way it always is. Excuse me.
Xavier James, this one was from 37 minutes ago. It says, is there any new episodes or lives coming up?
Yes. Xavier, we're going to do a live episode during the week. Am I right? We're going to try to do it like on a Monday maybe?
Well, yeah, we can do Monday.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's going to be this Monday, but we'll try to put out a word, right?
Yeah, I'll have a post letting you guys know a few days before.
Yeah, this way, exactly. We were doing it on the weekends, and I spoke to Dominic about it, and Dominic had made a suggestion because everybody's enjoying themselves on the weekend, which they should be. You don't need to be watching Joe Barone, you know what I mean? But yeah, so we're definitely going to do some more live, and like I said, please call in. And we might even do something where we're going to have a telephone where you guys could actually talk to me, right? We were thinking about that too. So we're expanding as much as we can,
Absolutely. Payman64 says, Joe, please come more often.
Come where?
I guess on live.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I definitely will. Like I said, we're going to do... we're also going to take any suggestions. We're going to try to do it. We're learning our way through. You guys have been giving us a lot of great feedback, and I really appreciate it. I really thank you for all the love and support. And so, yeah, we're definitely going to be doing all kinds of new stuff, too. I'll actually maybe even demonstrate some of the fights that I had. Maybe we're going to be doing some of that stuff, too.
Karen V. 1R9U says, like in all walks of life, there are good and bad cops. As I was driving down, just letting it go, not looking at my speed, near San Diego, I was stopped and got a ticket for speeding, about 90 miles an hour. The This is a long comment, guys.
Okay.
The state trooper was a good one, polite and professional. I called his station and asked to talk to who he reported to and told him what a great officer he had, and I recommended he to train the new guys. It's always good to give managers good news.
It is. You know something? That's the whole thing. Like, listen, I don't dislike cops. I don't love cops, but I have, and I think I said this before, Karen, that from San Diego, she said, I guess, right? San Diego?
yes,
Wow.
In
So,
San Diego, which you got the ticket, she said.
yeah, thank you for watching. I met some really great cops in my lifetime. You know, I really have. And I also met the real jerks. I guess it's just a matter of who you are, how you grew up, what kind of family you come from, maybe. I don't know. Some people go into school like martial arts and they want to beat up everybody. Some people go over there to learn to defend themselves and learn to have confidence so that they don't have to have a fight. You know, there's just so many different things, but that's really a good comment because, like I said, I met some good, and I thank you for because you must have listened to when I said about the cops. Oh, and before we answer another comment, I just remember about Charlie and I, and he used to go out with this girl Marie. He knows her last name. She was from the Bronx, and it was like really I liked her in a way too, with for him and everything, but sometimes she did a lot of wrong things to Charlie. Well, they had broken up, and then she started seeing somebody. But Charlie was a gentleman. In all fairness, he was a gentleman. He saw her in a club. It was a while since he seen her or whatever. He just leaned in, gave her a kiss, hello, and said, "How you doing, Marie?" She goes, "I don't think you should have kissed me like that, Charlie. My boyfriend's over there." Hey, listen, he didn't know that. He didn't do anything wrong. He really didn't. Okay, well, anyways. He apologized, said, "Oh, no problem, whatever." And then don't you think now, I think it was Lenny and Patsy and myself, we left. Charlie wanted to stay. So we said, "Charlie, come on." He wanted to stay. Anyways, well, we walked out of the bar. We walked about halfway down the block. We said, "Nah, we didn't feel right about leaving him there." Well, we went back. And then don't you think he was surrounded by these guys because he saw us leave, and now this big tough guy with all his friends surrounded Charlie. Well, we got in there, squashed the whole thing, but Charlie was so mad, he punched the telephone booth and I think he broke his hand, okay? Well, I was furious, and I said, "Charlie, I don't care how long it takes or whatever it is, I'm going to catch this son of a bee, okay?" Well, sure enough, don't you think about maybe 6 months later, I'm walking in the mall. It was me, Mike Donato, okay, and I think it was with these two other brothers. I think I might have talked about them. They were both on steroids, Vinny and his brother. I forget what the hell their names was, their last names, but anyways, I seen this guy walking, and he's walking with Marie, and so now they looking for tuxedos because they're gonna get married. So she walks into the tuxedo place or whatever, and he sat on this elevator, on the escalator, on the railing, like, so it was a clear railing, and he sat on top here. Right behind him was the escalators, okay? So Charlie says, okay, not Charlie, so Mike Donato says, "Okay, Joe, go ahead, make your move." So there I am, I'm walking, do, and I cracked him with a left hand. I hit him right here in the side of the neck, and he went flying over the railing, and he went on the escalator. Well, the escalator was going down, so he's sitting down like this, and the escalator's going down. So I ran up the top. Now he's trying to run back up the escalade, but the reverse way because it's a little harder when it's going down. And he goes, and he's holding his neck. He's going, "What was that for?" I said, "That was for my friend Charlie." Now, don't forget, I hit him with my left hand, all right? I'm a righty. But I still hit him with my left hand because I was able to work that too. I said, "That was for Charlie." I said, "Now this is for me." And he tried to charge me, and I uppercutted him. Well, he grabbed me, and we were wrestling. We were fighting on the floor and everything. And all of a sudden, I'm gouged his eye, everything. I'm going crazy. And I seen a lot of feet because a lot of people gathered around. I said, "Mike," and he goes, "Don't worry, Joe. Nobody's jumping in. Your hands are free. Get him." And so I'm still duking this guy up. Now, of course, the security in the mall came, but Mike knew them, and then nothing happened. He got up, and then sure enough, as I stood up and everything, the both of us, and I looked around, his girlfriend or his fiance came out, and then she must have told him, that's Charlie Buono's friend Joe. And now he put the two and two together, why I cracked him like that, why I had to fight with him. But I got him, I gave him a nice little beating. So I did that for Charlie because that's how close we were. And we were just talking about that on the phone today too. But anyway, go back to the comments. I didn't want that story to go away because we're talking about Charlie now. You know what I mean?
Suzanne Bernfeld says, "Hi Joe. Sometimes I can't watch when you're live, but I watch on the train to the city or from work. I live in the Bronx. You are definitely the true meaning of loyalty, which these days is hard to come by. I love your life stories that you share, and I can't wait to see you and Dom together on the next show. By the way, I like your hair short like that." Oh, because someone said that.
Oh,
Your hair out to look like a real mobster.
thank you, Suzanne. That's very kind of you. Dominic and I will be doing some things again, together again. Matter of fact, I just got off the phone with him early this morning myself. I miss him. You kind of get used to hanging around somebody, and but he's got a busy life, and so I do what I do. But yeah, that's very kind of you, Suzanne. Yeah, and I appreciate it. And if there's anything you want to hear or anything like that, or something comes to mind, email us or call us, and I'll definitely do what I can to. But I miss the Bronx too in a lot of ways. I mean, that was, even though it was from New Rochelle, it was like an old stomping ground. We used to, back in the days, I don't know how old you are or anything, but we used to cruise Morris Park, and then we went down to the water over there, and then we used to all cruise around back in those days. And thank you for the compliment about my hair. I just cut it yesterday, as a matter of fact. But I appreciate that. Thanks so much. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. And will let you know when it is live, so that this way, maybe on your way home from work, you'll be able to watch that as well.
James Taylor says, "Hoops in Fleetwood. I think I remember you."
James Taylor. Wow, okay. Yeah, well, Hoops, sure, in Fleetwood, right there on the corner. That was that was the hangout. Remember, we used to go down the stairs to get into the place. But that was a pretty hot spot back in those days. All right, there was some scuffles we had there. What are you going to do? That it comes with the territory. But yeah, you might have seen me in there. I mean, I don't, what you look like, but hopefully I didn't change too much. But thanks for the comment. Appreciate it.
Robert Stierl, 5771. Good guy to listen to. Nice stories. I know I've said this before, but how in the world does Joe not have more subscribers?
Thanks, Robert. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know. Listen, I tell as many stories as I think I can remember. Sometimes things come back to me in a while. I do have PTSD. Some stories, I have to be careful of what I say, only because the FBI is always watching, and they'll just try to hurt me for no reason, because that's how they are. Very bad, very, very bad people. And so, listen, I pretty much told them about my life story, so if they do anything, they're probably just going to make it up anyways. That's usually what they do. There's an old saying that you can indict a ham sandwich. So if you can indict a ham sandwich, you can indict anybody on anything. But, there's some things I just won't say. I'll probably die with it, but that's okay. But thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Joe Santangelo says, "Hey Joe, I listen all the time. I also listen to Dom. But is he on the lam right now? Like, is he okay? It's been about a month with no podcasts. Thanks. Have a good day."
Yes, Joe. I just talked to him this morning. As I said, he hasn't had the time to do he hasn't been on in a month. He told me that as well. But he is going to go back on again. He's not on the lam. He's just really busy. I won't say anything what he's doing. That's up to him what he's saying and what he's doing. But yes, he will get back. But he's not on the lam. He's just a busy guy. That's exactly what it is. But thank you for asking about him. I appreciate that. I'll let him know.
Irish Guy 78 says, "Why did you take podcast number 17 down? I didn't get a chance to watch all the way through because I was busy, so I went back and it wasn't available anymore."
Irish Guy. I noticed he's been on here before. Yeah, is that the one where we had that?
Yeah, sorry about that, Irish Guy. What happened was we had a clip that we referenced from the Tulsa King, and that clip caused that podcast to be copyright
Yes.
flagged. So no problem. They just made us take the video down. I clipped the Tulsa King clip out and re-uploaded the full podcast. So if you want to watch it, it's up.
Yeah, it is up now. I thought that it would just have been a little bit better because some people don't maybe never saw the Tulsa King or whatever. I mean, listen, I wasn't trying to do anything more than just kind of show the viewers what I was talking about. And if anything, they should have been happy that I was showing a clip from it. Maybe even give them more airtime. But listen,
Guys, if anybody has a solution to that, do we have to put something in the description? Do I have to just keep it under 15 seconds? The clip that we use. What's
Right.
what did we do wrong there? Someone comment how we can go about that in the future.
exactly. But we weren't trying to do anything. Just wanted to show everybody. Like I said, I was very. I thought Sylvester Stallone did a wonderful job of acting. I mean, listen, I like all his movies. I don't think I've never said I didn't like anyone, but I think in this one he just really excelled in himself. Very emotional in this movie where his brother died. Also, when about his daughter, he was. I think his acting really. He got really mature. Not that he was never a bad actor or anything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it. Just you can see the difference in him in this role that he's portraying to be, and the betrayal. I mean, I always refer back to movies because sometimes I can't explain myself that great, and I try to, you know. But he was actually saying things that I was feeling. So that's the reason why I asked to get the clip up if we could show everybody, because then no matter what I'm saying, you could actually see it for yourself firsthand. When I was in back home for doing the DJ Vlad TV, when I was in New York this last couple of days, I was with somebody, my girlfriend. I was actually able to hear a couple of people say how I didn't send them to jail. One of them happened to be a friend of mine that was a mutual friend with my friend Pete. And I think I had told you he wanted me to set this guy up and everything. Now here's a guy that he was supposed to be his friend, and now he wants me to set this guy up too, and I don't do that. Okay, I don't do that. I think I might even have mentioned he even wanted me to go with his girlfriend. He broke up with some girl. He wanted me to go. She was a bartender. He wanted me to go in there. He goes, I know you can go with a Joe and all of this stuff. Why would I do something like that? If I was with his girlfriend and I didn't know it was his girlfriend or his ex-girlfriend or whatever, and I bumped into her and something transpired or something happened, well then, yeah, I didn't know. But I'm not going to do that to somebody I know. I walked away from a lot of my friends' wives and stuff like that, and I'm not going to hurt my friends like that. And I didn't hurt my other friends in the street either. And my girlfriend was right there to hear it, and it's actually, when you hear it from me, like you guys are listening to me now, but then when you hear it from somebody who actually, that I could have heard, and I think even when I was with Dominic here, and Dominic even mentioned probably on a Mafia Roundtable, I know he said it. I could have did so many things. I wouldn't do that to a friend. I don't care what my time is or anything or whatever else they were going to do. I did not do it. I'm not going to do it. Okay, a lot of these wise guys were not my friends, and I don't care about them. I didn't know them, and that's it. Am I right or wrong?
Absolutely.
You got another comment or anything?
Yeah, a few more here.
Oh, good. I didn't even look at the comments. I never look. I let my friend, I let my partner look at the comments, and he tells me what's what.
Hatcherini says, "Great podcast, Joe. Keep the videos coming."
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I sure will. Anything you need to hear about or anything, or anything you want to know, like I said, everybody, just bring it on in.
Timothy O'Reilly, 6675 says, "Great video, guys. Thanks."
Oh, thank you. Appreciate you watching. Hope you keep watching. And like I said, don't forget about that Patreon channel. We got a few little extra goodies there that I won't air on the regular YouTube.
Matt Sweeney says, Grammaton Central Ave, or Grammaton Central Ave.
Central Avenue? I don't know that one. What was his name?
Matt.
Matt?
Sweeney.
Yeah, Matt, I don't know if I remember that. I mean, there used to be, look, I go back, I go all the way back to Fudgy's when it was on Central Avenue. That's how far I go back. I don't know, but I don't remember this place unless we're saying it wrong. I don't know.
And the last new one is Joe S4690 says, "Hey, two rats hanging out, talking about you and Dominic."
Oh, yeah. Hey, listen, that's fine too. I don't mind. Joe S. Yeah. There actually was a guy that I knew, Joe S., but I'm sure it's not the same guy because he died. But unless he's talking from the grave. But no, listen, that's fine. We're going to do what we got to do. Everybody does what they got to do. Like I said, if you like me, I like you. If you support me, I support you. If you're not, it's no big deal. Life goes on, and I'm not worried about either. I'm not worried about it. But thank you for the comment. Anyways, I appreciate it.
That's all the questions and comments we got for today, Joe.
Cool. So anyways, I guess we'll end it for today.
Yeah.
So I want to say thank you for Charlie Barone reaching out. That was we're going to get together, like I said, and on many things. Please don't forget about his book. And
What was the name of his book again?
his name of his book again was From Crime to Christ, the Charlie Barone story. And as soon as I get a copy of it, we'll show it here on Goodfellow Podcast. And don't forget, if you like us, subscribe. We appreciate you watching. We got the Patreon too as well. And we shall be back. Hopefully, if we're going to do something this Monday coming up, we'll let you know ahead of time. Something live, okay? So stay tuned, get your questions ready, and I'll be here to answer anything you want.
Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.